Hello YouTube, Kaitlyn here, and what kind of car trouble have you ever experienced? So I recently got a new car. Actually, it's the first car that you can really call your own. Very true. I have always been driving other people's cars that have been nice enough to allow me to borrow them for an extended period of time because I was not one of those kids that had their parents super rich and buy them a car when they turned 16 or 18 or 21 or when you graduated college or got your first job or anything. You don't need to rub it in. Anyway, this is a car that I'm paying for with my own money, which is kind of exciting even though it's very expensive, and it's also new, which is not something that I thought would happen when I first started the car search. But I ended up getting a new car because we weighed the issues of having something go wrong after you just bought a used car that may be cheaper to paying a little bit extra money to have something that has an extended warranty for a good amount of time so that you don't have to pay for all the crazy things that might happen. Yeah, but what's gonna go wrong with a new car? Everything. I'm telling you, everything. The last car that I was driving was a 1997 Oldsmobile. I drove it for a year. My dad was always afraid it was gonna break down. I wasn't allowed to drive it on long trips unless, absolutely necessary. And I never had a single problem with this car except once I ran out of gas because I just didn't know how low you could take it before you had to get gas. Side story, this happened on my first day of work for my first postgraduate job. Yes, just perfect timing, right? But so I buy this new car, and what happens? But everything that could possibly go wrong. 3 days after I bought it, a rock hit my windshield and cracked it. Yes! What? How is that possible? How can I have driven for so long and never had a rock crack my windshield, but I get a new one and it just immediately cracks it? What is this? Sadly, I did have to pay for this one because it's not covered under the warranty because it was something else coming and hitting my car. But, I got someone to come and put the little goo in it to make it at least not crack anymore, even though there's still this little tiny spiderweb thing right above where I drive, which is very annoying to know that you have a cracked windshield. But the bigger issue is that my battery light started coming on. Now, at first I was like, well, maybe I just, didn't turn the car on right. It's one of those cars that you don't have a key to turn. You just have to press the gas and then press a button, which is really awesome, but also kind of scary because what if the button doesn't work? So in the first 2 or so weeks of having the car, every time that battery light would come on, if I stopped the car, turned it off, and then turned it back on, it would be fine. The battery light would go off and I'm like, okay, I don't know what happened, but we're good. I don't need to call the Hyundai place. It's probably fine. I probably just turned it on strangely. No, this is wrong. It was tricking you because in the 3rd week, the battery light came on and it wouldn't go off. And then these crazy little messages that said, please operate the system with the engine running as to avoid discharging the battery. Does this mean that I'm driving the car without the engine running? I don't have a hybrid. This is impossible. But those little beeping messages are very scary when they happen over and over again while you're driving and you're thinking, is it just gonna die on me in the middle of the expressway? So because this was scaring me, I made an appointment with my dealer and I brought the car and they shuttled me to work and they're like, we'll have it fixed for you and it'll be great. And it was great for a little while. That is until they shuttle me back and I sign the papers and I get my keys and I'm like, yay, it's all working. And then I get in my car and I turn it on and the battery light comes on again and I'm like, what is going on? So what do? I'll tell you what I did. I went right back in there and I said that my battery light was still on. Of course, they look at me and they're like, they checked it out. The battery light was off. You drove it around. I'm sure, sometimes it's supposed to come on when you first turn it on and then it'll go off. And I'm like, no, I know what that looks like. And that's not what's happening. It comes on and it stays on. All the other lights are off and it's just... At this point, I think I'm causing a mini crisis because I've not even had this car a month. So they call the tech guy and he comes out, and then the salesperson that I bought it from, he comes out. This man that is relatively high up, but I don't even know who he is, comes out there and they're all around my car and they're looking at it. And I'm like, what's going on? Originally, they had said that it was the pin tension that needed to be tightened, and that's why the battery light was coming on. It was just a loose connection. Well, the tech guy, who was very nice and patient, checked it again, and, he went in the car, and he went back out with his little things and was attaching it to the battery, and I'm like, I wonder what's going on. The salesperson is talking to me, distracting me while this is happening, but I'm going, tell me what's wrong with my car. And so finally, the tech guy is like, it's a bad alternator. But it's a new car. Yes, but it's a bad alternator. Ugh! I can't have easy things. It's just not in my genes. My genes, get it? So now I know that I'm definitely causing some concern for people, and they brought me back inside and they're emergency ordered the alternator, so it should be here by the following Monday. And I'm sure by the time you watch this video, it is all great and my car's fixed, but at the same time, it's like, why am I having to deal with these things when I have a new car? Because you are very unlucky, apparently. I just don't think that they make things the way that they used to anymore. I can't fault the dealer though, because they have done pretty much everything that I have needed them to do. They've shuttled me to work. They've not charged me anything for all this stuff that's happening. It's just an inconvenience to have to, you know, be late, a little bit late from work and having to go to there and back there. Fortunately, I work very close to this dealer, so why? But I guess it makes me wonder what kind of car troubles you have had. Do you own a car? Do you borrow your parents' car? Do you not even drive but have a car of your dreams? Is your family car a piece of junk and costs you a lot of money? Who knows? But tell me in the comments and we can have a discussion of car craziness and pandemonium. And remember to like, favorite, share, and subscribe if this video made you smile. See you guys next Thursday. Mwah! I am now going to go jump in the pool because it is very hot here.